Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The Book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the Book.
You covered 12. I covered.
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Welcome to a Monday episode of the Bostonian versus the Book. Happy Feast Week, boys and girls, and welcome to the post F1 edition of the Bostonian versus the Book.
Made it.
Sharapan, Matt Perrault, we're live. We're here. We made it. We're all okay. In the wake of what went on with F1, we got a lot of good things to get to on the program today. We are live on YouTube and on Twitter. Our chat is already rocking and rolling here today on our YouTube channel at Boston versus the Book, live on Twitter as well, replayed on SiriusXM, channel 159, and on Sports Grid TV, which is, I think, the last time I saw you professionally, Dave, was on Sports Grid TV last Friday night, which we appreciate all you guys coming in and watching Dave and I do that show. It's a lot of fun. We don't control the chat. I know there's been a lot of chatter in our chat about their chat. We don't control it. It's sometimes it's open, sometimes it's not.
I think it's going to be open after the representation that Brigade and people showed up and came with.
Oh,
yeah, they did it right, boys and girls. Thank you again for being there. Thank you for being here.
That's great.
Yeah, so I was told that, every time Perrault and Sharapan and Perrault get together on Sports Grid, they're going to open that chat up.
I love it. That's phenomenal. Great to hear that. So this is a reminder of what the week is going to look like. We're going to be on here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
That's it.
And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I am going to very much try Thursday and maybe even into Friday. I'm going to try to do a detox. I'm going to try to I'm actually going to try to stay off all social media for Thursday. I'm going to challenge myself to not tweet, to not post, to not look, to not open, nothing on Thursday. Don't know if that's going to happen or not, but in case you're wondering, like, where did he go? Where's Matt? What's going on? Why aren't you posting? That's why. Just a heads up. I'm going to attempt to do this just to get a reset, just spend time and just focus on the next couple of months, but clean the palette of all social media nonsense. So we are off Thursday and Friday. So Wednesday, I don't know what Sports Grid will do with the show on Wednesday. My gut tells me they're going to run it on Wednesday and Thursday night. I don't know what they do on Friday and Saturday because, well, the show's not going to be live or recorded the same way. So I don't know what the future will be for our replays on SiriusXM and Sports Grid, but I guess we'll figure that out later. I am working on Sports Grid Friday and Saturday, so you will see me doing stuff, just not BVB will be off Thursday and Friday for us on that. Okay, let's start obviously with what happened this weekend because it's and if you're a Chief fan, sorry today, you're just going to have to suck it up and deal with it. With what you're going to have to look at all day.
What are we talking about? What do you mean?
It's a lot of Eagles. It's a lot of Eagles stuff. If you're a Chief fan that you're going to deal with today. We will get to your game later in the program. But the Las Vegas Grand Prix did happen on Saturday night. After months of prep, we did end up seeing this event happen. In the wake of it, what are your thoughts on Saturday night?
I mean, I thought it went off pretty well, to be perfectly honest. We got guys that are race guys like Addison, said it was a good race. It's not for everybody.
It's faster than I thought.
The actual race itself,
50 laps. It's quick.
50 laps is quick.
I guess I'm just from the NASCAR world where you run 500 miles and it's just a lot different.
Man.
It's just a lot longer.
But all the talk of the weather and all the talk of this and that.
They got lucky though, Dave, with the weather.
If they were going tonight or last night, it would have been a complete. I don't think they would have raced.
I agree with you. They literally got 12. They got it in 12 hours before Armageddon hit here. I mean, they shut down. They legitimately shut down the I-15 corridor between California and Nevada because of the wind causing a dust storm where you couldn't see 10 feet in front of your face.
Listen, I just was down at the Circa and drove back. It's still windy as hell outside. I mean, people are walking, holding their eyes and stuff because there's so much. It's dusty. It's windy as hell. Would have been bad news. I'm glad the race went off. I am. And by some reports, like, I don't know. I went down last night to Caesars and met a kid that I went to grade school with. It was awesome because we haven't seen each other. He moved to town over. And when you're 8 years old,
Yeah, it's
9 years old, when one of your best friends moves to the town over, you might as well move to the moon.
Right.
And then get to see him. And then, he ended up playing football at Maryland. And it was wild because we were commiserating a little bit last night, comparing notes. And he's like, yeah, I played at Penn State. I said, Danny, I was at the game. He had 10 catches. He was a player of the game, all this stuff. It was incredible. So just comparing notes now. And now he's a girl dad.
Nice.
Being grown-ups and having kids and talking about health and all this other stuff. I tell him the stroke story. Can't believe it. I knew his dad. He's gone. He knew my dad. He's gone. But the buzz was still in the casino. Like, it was still a lot of people doing gambling things or spending time in the casino, gambling, eating. The book was wall-to-wall people for the Sunday night game, which wasn't that great of a game, but it turned out to be a good game competitive-wise. I think the city comes out looking great. Do you?
I think I tweeted this. The pregame show, the ramp up, I had watched F1 pregame shows before, so I wanted to see what they did for Las Vegas versus, say, Miami or Dubai or some of the other races that I have watched over the years from the Sky Sports coverage of F1, because ESPN2 didn't do their own. They just let Sky Sports do it. They just took the broadcast from Sky Sports and just rebroadcasted it, which was a smart move because of the expertise that they bring. It would have been difficult for ESPN to get a group together that could have done better than what Sky Sports did. But they did an amazing job of telling the story of Las Vegas to the world. Like, they went back to the very beginning of the Native Americans as to why this valley was the valley they picked to settle. The aquifers and the location and the mountains and Mount Charleston and just the ways that they all came through here and why here. And then why different miners came here, and then why settlers came here, and then how did it get to be a population boom? The Hoover Dam was that massive project. Casinos started to cater to that type of working class person, and that was the origins of Las Vegas in terms of how the mob and Bugsy Siegel and how it grew from Fremont Street then to the Strip. It was cool. I knew all of it, but it was nice to see that being told to the world, like, this is what Las Vegas is. So that type of publicity you cannot pay for. Like, that is an unbelievable opportunity for the city to be, the story of Las Vegas being told. I did not know that Las Vegas means the meadows. I did not know that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I should have known that, but I did not know that. I don't know Spanish well enough, but I did not know what Las Vegas is. Madeline asked me one day, what was Las Vegas means? And I was like, you know what? I know what Los Angeles means. I don't know what Las Vegas means. That's interesting. So I learned that through the whole process, but that was from the aquifers and the water that's underneath us and the lakes that are around and whatnot. So yes, I think for the night of, it was a very good night for the city of Las Vegas.
I don't think it was a question. There was a lot of awkward moments, like a guy trying to chase Shaq down.
No, that's typical though. That's his gag. That's not, no. Every single time he does that on purpose.
Well, but it was just, but the whole thing, there was a lot of
that's awkward. He tracks down celebrities and they tell him to buzz off all the time. It's really funny. It's part of the reason why they let him do it, because it's hysterically funny to watch him walk up to people and they're like, get away from me. I don't want to talk to you. Get away from me.
So,
Martin Hugh or Martin something or other. I forget his last name.
Whatever it was. Some people like that. Some people, I was just like, can we get to the race? Like a lot, on myself Saturday night, like after a long day of football and watching games. And, we had a bunch of people that had reached out or had watched the show Friday, and we kind of nailed a lot of the college games. And, the Kansas State made you sweat all the way down to the end. And it was like, man, is this really going to happen? But I don't know. And by all accounts, I think people now know if they would have just told everybody that lived here that we're going to be a traffic nightmare for 6 months and we have to change everybody's habits and all this other stuff, I think it would have been a little more receptive.
Look, I believe in
But
that
they're
too.
coming back.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
I
there's no
agree.
question
Yeah,
it's
well,
coming back.
they're already taking tickets right now. You can put your deposit down for tickets for 2024. So yes, I would say they are coming back. But I think one of the problems that they have and that they're going to have is that it is a 3-day event that really caters to the rich and the famous. It doesn't cater to the average person. And when you have the drivers on the side of the average person, you had Max Verstappen, you had a bunch of other drivers who came out and said, look it, one, this is not a race. This is a show. Number two, this really is about the upper class. This is not about, people are saying they want a GA ticket to be affordable for everybody. Say, work on that, Las Vegas. Make it so everyone can go to this. Don't make it so it's such a rich person's event. Because look at, the reports are already coming out. Dealers at the Win on Saturday night, they split $1 million in tips. $1 million. Like, this is high roller central
for a lot of people. Like that's going to make their holiday, shopping, everything. Like, I mean, to get a bump of that magnitude is tremendous. I mean, who makes 2,800 in a night? I mean, that's what the cut was, something like that. Other places made 1,500 in a night.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, but they raised the minimums. I mean, Vegas does what Vegas does. Vegas makes it, they charge you the price that you'll pay. And the people that came will pay.
But it did block out. I mean, you could have stayed for resorts fees. You could have stayed on Saturday night at certain properties. Like $0, $40 resort fee. You could have stayed on the strip at certain resorts.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
There was not the spillover that you're going to see with the Super Bowl, where you're going to see every hotel room be booked and you're going to see every restaurant be jammed and every club have huge lines. You didn't see that. You saw all the upper end stuff. They crushed it. And that's been the reports. I mean, people on Twitter were saying back to me, people that run in that circle, in the high upper end circle, said every report I've heard, it was an incredible weekend. I said, yeah, if your net worth was $1 million or higher, you had a ball. You thought it was the most amazing thing ever. The parties and the influencers, every single influencer on the planet was here for that event. I'm not sure any of them care about the race or care about F1, but they knew it was a place to be seen globally. So they came in to take their pictures and take their videos and do their reels and whatever while they were here, which is all great for Las Vegas because it makes people go, oh man, I want to go to there. I want to go to that. Like, let's go to Vegas. Let's figure that out. So for that reason, it's good. But, Max Verstappen hammered the race. Other racers talked about the fact that it wasn't for, the race car fan or wasn't for the only for the high end people. And you had, locals went to work during the race and they ripped down all of the black scaffolding that they'd put up across the walkways.
Oh boy.
They ripped it all down. They were like, and that it might not seem like a big thing, but to me, I think that shows some of the anger that fans fans had, that they were mad, that they were like, you know what, I can't afford to buy a $50,000 ticket, but I can rip this down and watch the race. So
people will find ways around anything. Like I don't know. I know I didn't really want to leave the house. I waited until race was over to go down to the strip and like see my guys. And
right.
I don't know what they're going to do going forward. I don't think they're going to change much at all.
Well, I agree. I think that once you do year one, year two becomes much easier to do because you understand it more. So, but the paving still has to happen. They still have to pave the strip.
Well, hopefully they screw the manhole covers in a little bit tighter and all that other stuff, like all the hiccups and bumps. And
well, because this is a big hiccup. Class action lawsuit is being seeked by those spectators, and there are thousands of them who are kicked out of practice, who won at least $30,000 in damages for being kicked out of practice by F1 while the second practice was going on by no fault of their own. Could they have done better than give people a $200 voucher, considering, and I'm not kidding you, a keychain was costing $140. A keychain.
Expensive.
The hats were over $100. You couldn't buy two things. In the gift shop, if you went in, people were showing this, that the $200 voucher, if you went into the official F1 store, you could get one thing for $200.
Yeah. You know, they're
Bad
available
look.
now all over.
Yeah, right. You can go buy whatever you want now.
There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff for sale right now. If you guys need anything, let me know. We'll see what we can get you. But there's a lot of F1 merchandise in stores locally right now. I saw it myself. Supply and demand. Supply and demand. I'm glad they did it. It looked amazing on TV. I've driven by it, seen it as it was being done. I don't know. I think F1 was better. It's the argument about like football. Would you rather watch a football game on TV or go in person? Would you rather watch an F1 race in person or watch it on TV?
On TV, there's not even a question.
I don't think there is either.
Not even a debate. I mean, it's too fast.
It was cool on TV. Right.
Every video I've seen, I'm like, you paid how much money to watch a car go by 50 times? Like, that's what you paid for? Like, okay, you do it once. That's fun. 2 times. Okay, that's neat. After the 3rd time, it's boring. There's nothing else to watch. And you're seeing literally a car go by in a blink. It's 200 miles per hour. You're not watching a race. That's the difference with NASCAR, because when you're up high on NASCAR, you can see the entire oval. You can watch the entire race. You can see how it's unfolding, and you watch the start-finish line. You can't see anything if you're down on the track by the sphere. Like, that's not where you're not going to see this, the finish. You're watching the thing on the screens they've put up everywhere, and you're essentially paying $50,000 to watch a race on TV.
Yeah. Put up a poll, which we do on the live, YouTube. When you're watching it live, you can go in and vote. Would you rather watch a football game in person or on TV?
Is that
really not everybody watches F1? I'm just curious for football, because we're going to talk about football. Everybody's talking about football. I think it would be overwhelming that you would rather watch an F1 race on TV. There's just, it's for the car guys or something might want to be there. I'm glad I got to experience it with a pit pass, NASCAR.
It's totally different though.
But it's
NASCAR is totally different than, I watched, I've saw 1,000 videos, and I was like, you know what? It's like, this is totally different. Watching a NASCAR race, 1, it's way longer, and 2, there's way more action. Like, they said that was a really action-packed race, and that they were really excited. Max Verstappen got a 5-second penalty for running a guy off the track in the first 2 seconds of the race, and that changed things a lot. He still won. He still won. They gave him a 5-second penalty, and the guy still won. So when you're the best, you're the best, and you're the best equipment, you're the best driver, and you just dominate. And there were passing, and there was some contact, and one guy, Lando Norris went flying off the track and went into one of the safety barriers. So you had some of those, the fiery.
Is that his actual name, Lando?
I don't know. It goes by Lando Norris.
The only Lando I ever knew
was Lando Calrissian. Correct. So maybe he was named after Lando Calrissian.
And Lando Calrissian was a cool dude.
He was.
In those movies.
Multiple movies now with Lando. Multiple actors who have played Lando.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, that's a Star Wars insider thing. But Lando Calrissian was my guy. I love Billy D. And Lando, unfortunate, and then quick. What? He's out. What happened? And then I don't know. The kids were out at bowling, and then they came home, and everybody settled in, and we watched the race, and the older ones were like, I'm done. They didn't make it to the end. And Jess was asking me a lot of questions that I didn't have the answers to. I'm like, can we maybe they'll tell us why this guy's doing this or that? I didn't know.
It was slick as hell. It was dusty and really slick. And the tires were not warm like they were afraid of. The tires were not warm. And so that was causing a very difficult situation for the drivers. And yes, RJ's asking, did F1 really tell Vegas that this will be the best thing in the history of ever? yes, they did tell us this was going to be the greatest event that Vegas has ever held. And some people actually parroted that on Saturday night, saying this is the greatest thing that Las Vegas has ever done. And I was just like, what are you?
Really?
Yeah. People were saying on TV. Yeah. They're like, I've never seen the city be looking better. I've never seen the eyes of the world on Las Vegas like this. This is amazing. And I'm just like, bro,
And
like
they had that like Piff guy do the opening with the monologue, and then that other
oh,
guy,
that
like,
whole thing. Did you watch
was
that?
oh, it was so awkward. It was so awkward.
Madeline was like, is he reading a poem or is he talking? I was like, I think it's a poem, but I don't really know. Like, I couldn't get over the eyes. Like, he freaks me out. Like, I think he's an amazing actor, but the eyes were really weird. Like, when you're staring at the camera and the amount of Botox he has around his eyes, like his cheeks don't move. It's just bizarre. Like, I was like, this is a really weird intro. I was like, I don't really understand why you guys are doing this, but
there's a lot of hype. There's a lot of hype involved with a lot of things that Vegas does.
Yeah. It was the most disruptive. I'll give you that. It was the most disruptive thing Vegas has ever done to the people who work here and live here, and the overwhelming number of people. If you take just the race and you cut out the race on Saturday and you remove the event itself, my gut tells me that the F1 is polling somewhere around 10% approval rating in the city. The event was good. Saturday was good. If it wasn't, if it was a disaster, it would have been even worse. But a lot of people who went came away saying this was a really fun thing. Like, this was cool. Now let's fix this. Let's make this better. Let's figure out how to make it less problematic and make it easier for the people. So this is not a recurring 6-month drama, because it's going to be 2 months of takedown. The strip today, you can't drive on it. Okay.
Right.
Like, you got to move, you're moving around, streets are closed. There's, even after the thing's over, we're still dealing with the wake in the wake of F1.
I had to get to Caesars from the south end of the strip because I was over there yesterday.
Right.
In the afternoon, I had to go see the hat guy about some things and whatever. And then I drove down there and got off the freeway and like drove what was the race, like to get to Las Vegas Boulevard. It was an accident. It took forever. And I was just like, oh, I can't wait till we go back to normal a little bit. But it was pretty cool to see the post. Like, they got to tear all this stuff down now.
And that's why it's going to take 2 months.
That's going to be interesting. Listen, man, anything that helps a lot of people like that, hopefully do good. And I guess shine a light here is great. But the hype, it's just like life. Sometimes the hype or the worry is way worse than the actual thing. There's a lot of nonsense and a lot of this and a lot of that. Saturday night was great. They're going to do it again.
Yes.
In the same weekend, at the same time. You're rolling the dice here with the weather. I mean, you literally are rolling the dice in November. Be careful.
I don't understand why they want the race. And I know the schedule for F1 and whatnot. I get all that, but like, why risk it? Like, why not do it in October? Weather is beautiful in October. Like, just rearrange the schedule. Have it be the first race in the America circuit versus the last race in the America circuit. Right. I don't know. You are really, really, really up against it, because one of these years, if it does last 10 years, one of these years, halfway decent shot is going to snow.
See, good morning to Bear Maulings, one of our resident BVB Brigade members. You guys, if you're watching the show, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that stuff. But Bear works down on the strip, and he just came in and said, I'm going to be honest, I live here, I work on the strip, and I've been almost entirely unbothered by the event.
But he was working at Resorts World and now soon to be Fontainebleau. So it's not fair to compare where he worked, because there's multiple back ways to get to Resorts World that take you way away from everything that had happened.
Right.
So, I mean, if you were working on the other side of the strip, he's working on the good side of the strip. If you're working on the, like, literally across the street, if he was working across the street at Wynn or Palazzo, his life would have been totally different from having to get there perspective.
Yeah.
I learned that during the marathon when the rock and roll marathon. I learned that about having to get to Palazzo coming from my town outside of town.
The worst.
If I was working at Treasure Island, I would have been unaffected. But because I was working at Palazzo, I had my life turned upside down for 4 days trying to get my ass across that strip just to get to where I wanted to go for work.
I worked at Cosmo. I was on the right side of the strip, if you're saying. And then I worked at Venetian and Palazzo, and I was on the left side of the strip, which was not easy. And when you got to cross over from where we're coming from, you either got to go all the way around and come up the back, or figure out a way to get to and from work, or call in, or quit your job,
or walk. I walked.
Yeah, that was a different story.
I parked Treasure Island, and then I walked, and you end up walking a mile to get to work, which is always really fun because you have to go outside, you have to walk all the way over to the bridge, go up and over, go down, and then walk to work. Really fun. Not really. Very annoying.
The answer to the question, as far as watching sports on TV, better on TV or better in person, almost 70% of people said on TV.
Yeah.
But hockey in person. That was the prevailing.
Well, I think college football too in person. People were saying college football is better in person than it is on TV.
Hard to argue that.
And I think there are very few sporting events left where I would prefer. I mean, I think I like baseball more in person than on TV. There's certain sports where I like to watch different things that I can't see on TV because I'm forced to watch just what they show me.
What they show you, yep.
So like with baseball, all I see is pitcher, catcher, hitter, umpire. Like that's all you really see.
Right.
I like watching the movement of the left fielder. I like watching how the shortstop is being positioned. I like how a pickoff play is developing. Like I like that with baseball, being in person where I can see what I want to see. But for the vast majority, I mean, NFL, there's not even a question. The delays, the replays, the flags.
A lot.
I mean, I want to watch it on TV because I want to see everything because it's not meant for the in-person audience for the NFL. It's meant for TV.
To say that it is when you go and experience it and then you stay at home and you watch it. I think definitely more people would.
Oh, it's so. I mean, college does a great job of entertaining. Like they want to make sure. College basketball does too, for that matter. How to make sure people are entertained even during the breaks.
Yep.
But NFL football, they just don't really care. They're just like, yep, we're good. Like we'll have the cheerleaders dance or the dance team dance, and that's about it. Like there's nothing really for the crowd to entertain the crowd while the breaks are happening. And there are so many commercials. You don't realize it when you're watching, when you're in an NFL stadium. It's like injury flag, replay, break, injury flag, replay, score, injury flag. Like it just constant stop. Like it was really hard when when Madeline was there at the 2 games I took her to. Like she was like, "Why do they stop so much?"
Yeah,
and it's an issue. So, speaking of the NFL, let's get to the major.
I want to real quick put it in the chat too, because a lot of guys are asking. Rather than a poll, we'll put your favorite place to stay when you come to Las Vegas on the Strip, because people were like, "Oh, Cosmo's the best, Venetian, Palazzo, this and that." I'm watching as things go by. Bears down Resorts World and moving up to the Fontainebleau. When you guys come to Vegas, where is your favorite place to stay? Now that'll just be, let the chat flow and roll. But if you've been here, I'm just curious what people say, because it's changing a lot.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant by the history of the city being so interesting, because Las Vegas is very quickly not becoming for the average person. It's becoming a rich person's place
for big events
in general. Just in general, we are catering events that are not affordable. We are an event town right now. Super Bowls, F1 races, Golden Knight games, Raider games, soon to be baseball. We are event-based more than we ever have been before. And this is an expensive place to go and watch events. It always has been. And so if you can afford to go to the event, you can afford to pay resorts fees, and you can afford to pay in $200 hotel rooms and get multiple hotel rooms. Right. Like Vegas used to be a place where you could come multiple times a month. It's not like that anymore. And you mentioned that. Like it's not a place people don't come here nearly as much as they used to. It's a one and done.
These guys I went and met last night, they all come from Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
And it was tremendous, because I get the text, "I got a surprise guest for you." It was a kid who also played hockey in the town next to me, but went to the same religious school that I did. I haven't seen this kid. He played at Penn State before me. It's a year or two older. Okay. But they used to come 3 times a year. They're down to 1 trip a year. Now, I mean, they're in their 50s, maybe a little harder to get away, but like they got the casino at home.
Right. Well, that's true.
10 minutes away from their house.
That's never been higher. The competition's never been tougher for Vegas.
Right?
Yeah.
You had to come here to gamble and do everything else.
Fair. But that's why we pivoted though, right? Like the greatest show on earth. That's why MGM Grand has that whole the MGM properties advertised the way that they do, because they had to pivot, for the 90s, or even when Circus got born, was put up. It was that was the boom of, this is a family friendly place. Come with your family. Vegas.
That was a quick pivot though. That wasn't that.
Well, it was there, right? And then it was, what happens
happen.
in Vegas stays in Vegas. Come here and cheat on your spouse, and nobody knows. They did all that. That was hyper successful. Right. And now the idea is, well, that's not very PC anymore. So let's figure out, how do we market the city? Now it's about, come here for your events. Come here for your everything, whatever it might be, your basketball tournament, your football game, your bowl game, your conference tournament, your national championship game, your Super Bowls. Come here, be here, because we can do it easy, quick, and better. And we can, frankly, if you're not screwing the roads up, we're going to have a Super Bowl here in February, and they're not going to do anything to the roads. It's going to be busy, but they're not going to affect people.
Listen, we were in LA, we were in Arizona. It's another day.
Yep.
It's just a busy day, but it's another day. It's a game, one game. There's 65,000 people that go. Half the people that come for the week leave before the game even starts. Right. Not even, they leave on Fridays.
Right.
So the Super Bowl, I don't know if the Super Bowl is going to have the same. I don't know what that's going to bring. It's going to bring a lot of eyeballs.
It's going to bring the same. No, it'll bring every influencer. It's going to bring every single high-end event and party and DJ and group. I mean, I told you, Floyd Mayweather's boxing on Saturday night.
I saw
Floyd is boxing on Saturday night.
I saw the guy on Saturday. We discussed it. Hopefully
the guy
going.
The guy?
I didn't see Champ himself. I saw his
right. Yeah, right. I know who you're asking about. Same guy I know. Good.
It was awesome.
Good.
I said,
here's your poll question.
There we go.
67% better on TV or better in person. So nearly 7-3. 70% nearly saying.
Places to stay. People selected the Bellagio, the D or Circa, MGM, Flamingo for Konowinski. Wow. Dave's couch with Emerson. No, that's definitely not happening.
With or without chaps on?
That's not happening. It's either way. That's that. I'm not good with that.
Right.
Some Airbnbs votes.
Boy, got to be careful with the Airbnbs in these towns, because
be careful.
There's so many illegal ones that are operating that are going to get shut down here in the city. They've been very tight with those Airbnb licenses. They don't like those things.
Yeah.
For the Super Bowl, I mean, that's where we stayed for the, when we were in LA, we Airbnb'd a place. It's going to be hard to find one because we don't have that many. They don't like them here in Vegas. They want you at a property. They don't want you at a house.
Yeah.
LA's a little different. Phoenix a little different.
Wow. I just got boots on the ground report from our guy in Nashville.
Okay.
Tyler. He said Vegas costs have risen like all other big cities. He's in all of them because he's out playing poker.
Right.
He said it's $35 to $50 to park in a garage or a lot in downtown Nashville for the day.
Yes.
Mixed drinks downtown are $16 to $20 a piece. Vegas isn't immune to inflation either. It used to be dirt cheap.
He's right. But Nashville is capitalizing on the same thing that Vegas capitalized on for a while. Nashville has become the bachelor and bachelorette party headquarters of America. So
Vegas has always been that.
It is, but the amount of people going to Nashville now is incredible. And so they're charging you like Vegas would charge you, because it's, well, you're going to go to Vegas and spend X, or the same to Nashville. And they're picking between the two. And a lot of times the guys come to Vegas and the girls are going to Nashville, stereotypically speaking. That's what's been going on. The prices are the same because it's the same event, the same amount of money being put out to do very similar things, mind you. But it's a country experience versus more of like a DJ club experience, if you will, if you come here. But that's, I mean, Nashville, I mean, Broadway and 2nd Avenue in Nashville, absolutely. Yes, extremely expensive. Like any downtown of a major city in America right now. Try parking in New York City.
Oh,
you know, try parking in Boston. Try parking in downtown Philadelphia. Go to Rittenhouse Square in Philadelphia. tonight and tell me how much money you're going to pay to park your car. It's like $20 an hour.
Wow, the Harrah's and Cherokees, $499 a night on the weekends, and the drinks aren't free. Jeez.
Where's that? In Nashville?
Cherokee is, I don't know where exactly, Tyler, but I'm sure it's close.
Yeah. In Tennessee. Yeah, I believe it. Sure. Yeah. Nice high-end casino. Sure. Absolutely. So, all right. The Commanders lose to the Giants. They knock out 235 of the 609 people that were alive in the Circa Survivor contest. We are down to under 400 entries left for $9 million. When would you recommend, if somebody is so fortunate to be alive after the carnage of this weekend? We have Thursday, Friday, and then we have Sunday. We have 2 weeks in the next 7 days. Monday, in 1 week from now, are we under 250 people left?
50 more lose? So is it?
I think we're at like 375. We're like 375 right now.
Okay.
Because
I mean, it depends on availability because they're all going to pick Dallas or Detroit. I think that's what they've been saving for this week. Although I think if you have Miami, you might want to use Miami.
How insane could it be, though, that the Commanders losing to the Giants, that destroys 235 entries, nearly half of the left of the pool. The Commanders beat the Dallas Cowboys. They could finish the whole damn thing.
Cherokee's in North Carolina, by the way.
Okay.
Not Tennessee. They don't have casinos.
That's right. That's right.
So, the carnage for Washington was brutal because we had some people left that got knocked out. I was texting with one this morning. I was afraid, I was almost going to have to do a well check as you get that far. And you're like, I don't even know what to say. And then, I said, and his text back was, I was almost crying, but I bet the Giants, so
just in case
the money's no solace. Like it's very little comfort because you've gone basically 10 weeks and survived. And then you just lose on a situation like that.
I told you on Friday, divisional games, don't pick divisional games.
It's hard, but I mean, you got to a point where do you use Jacksonville against Tennessee? That divisional game would have worked.
Yep. No, it was hard. There was multiple divisional games all over the place.
The Lions made you sweat, but they beat the Bears.
But that was a divisional game, and it could have been a loss. They didn't cover. I mean, like if you had the Dolphins left, that was if you were fortunate enough to have Miami, that would have been great. Or do you roll the dice and use Dallas against the Panthers to get to Thanksgiving and then hope that you have Detroit left to be able to take the Lions?
Yeah.
It's going to be really interesting to see what the number is heading to after when we do the week and we come back on Monday, how many survivor entries are actually left, because we will be, remember there's 20 weeks in this. Yeah. So this is an extra week here for Thanksgiving and then in Black Friday. And then again on Sunday, you got to do it again. So
3 picks in 8 days. I didn't realize it. So you had to pick Sunday.
Yep.
Then either Thursday or Friday, and then Sunday.
Yep. And that's to get this thing whittled down for the stretch run in December, where you have, you got to, and then the next time Christmas is its own week. So here we go.
Which
week 20.
I was down at Circa shooting that thing for those guys for the Survivor.
Right.
And they brought up the Christmas schedule. And I was like, well, if you haven't used the Chiefs, that's your game on Christmas. That's that week. You better save the Chiefs for that.
But who has the Chiefs saved?
I don't know. I don't know how many weeks I would have picked them up to this point.
If you had 10 entries, right? If you had 10 entries and did 10 different picks every single week, I could see you having the Chiefs still available. But the vast majority of people who are going to be left come Christmas, which is probably going to be under 100, will have all used Kansas City.
I think that'll be the majority pick. Like there's people that have been saving
60, them. 60 teams. If there's 100 teams left on Christmas, you think 60 of them will be on the Chiefs?
Probably.
Woo, boy, I don't know about that. That's a lot. That's a big number.
Yeah.
To get here, to say you're going to hold on. Again, I don't subscribe to that strategy. Just get to Thanksgiving and then work. And then now you got to plan out. Now
every single
you got to
person
look at it
we
now.
talked to and signed up, that was the mantra. Just
Yeah.
get to Thanksgiving. That's your first order of business. Legitimately, a couple guys was like, just get to Halloween.
Right.
And then we'll worry about Thanksgiving. You've made it this far. It's gonna be fun. It's
9
real.
million. 9 million. I would, if I had an entry, I would 100% chart out the rest of the year just to see who's available and what you can do. And you can change, obviously, but I would definitely have a plan for the rest of the year. You got to make sure the right teams are left. You got to make sure you get the right teams available, because you don't want to have to walk in there and bet the Bears. You know, you have 9 million riding on Chicago to beat somebody.
Chef Benny said he's alive in his Survivor, and he has the Chiefs still left.
But
It's
okay,
not
hold
the
on.
Circa
But
Survivor.
yeah, I was gonna say it's not the Circa contest, so it's a lot different. You know,
It's a Survivor pool. I
it's a Survivor pool, but it's not. You don't
there
have
hasn't
20
been
weeks.
many weeks where you go, "Oh, I'm taking the Chiefs. This is the layup." There's always somebody else to use.
Okay, and
Did
they
you
can still
pick the
and they can
Chiefs
still lose.
in that mythical one?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I forget which week I used them, but I definitely took the Chiefs at least at some point. I'm actually curious about which week I did. I did take the Chiefs, because that would be worth looking. Hold on, I'll look it up because I don't remember. I know I did.
I don't think you did.
You don't think I did? Really? You don't think I did?
I don't think you did.
Week 3. Ravens, Bills, Chiefs, 49ers, Dolphins, Rams, Seahawks, Lions, Browns, and took the Bengals in week 10.
Jeez, you would have been up against it with this week. You couldn't use the Cowboys this week then.
Yes, that's what I was saying. I would have the Cowboys for Thanksgiving. And then, but Sunday, the problem is Sunday, I was looking at it going, oh no, week 13 is going to get a lot of people.
Every game on the board on Sunday is lined 4, 3, 2, 1, or pick.
Good luck.
Every one.
Because there's 4 games off.
Tennessee at home against Carolina. Hello. That's a 4 point. That's the highest spread game. You want to take Baltimore at the Chargers? If you haven't used the Ravens, you probably already have. You can't.
Yeah. Take the Chargers at home. 4-point dogs.
I mean, there's 4 pick'em games. Houston at home against Jacksonville. Arizona at home against the Rams. Kaka. Atlanta at home against the Saints. What?
Enjoy it.
Hell do you do in week 12?
Right. Rainmaker, you're right. Week 3, the Chiefs were a layup in week 3. Yes, I took layups. Every layup I took, I just said, okay, if I was in this hypothetically, because I didn't do it this year. We didn't do it this year. We didn't do any contests this year because we wanted to do the proxy service. Right. We wanted to get your guys everything done perfectly and then talk to you guys who are in the proxy service about whether you care or not if we're in these contests or not. Right. Fairly confident you guys don't care if we're in Circa. You might care if we're in the millions just because we get to see everyone's picks. So it's not really fair. So, but most likely we'll be in the Survivor contest next year. So I was like, all right, let's just play it out to see that. My philosophy is simply do not overthink it. Just, you have to save. I get it. You got to save certain teams, but the Chiefs in week 3 was an easy play. There's a lot of bets that were easy plays. Just trying to take the survive and advance methodology and get to this point. Because if you're alive right now, your entry is worth about $25,000.
Indy at home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. -2.
If you get through this week, right? Let's say we're down to 250 entries by the end of week 13. When do you consider selling a piece if somebody approaches you?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I don't.
Really? Not even a little?
No. I mean, it depends who's coming and with how much.
Yeah.
But I've done the work for 12 weeks and now you want to come in?
Well, as long as it means you're along for the ride. I would never sell it to lose control of it. Like when people would come in and be like, I'll buy your entry, but I'm going to make the picks. No, you're not. Like, like if you want in with me, great. Come on in. But you're riding my pick and we go down together. There's none of this like, well, I'll make the pick for you. Get out of here. No, you're not. So I would recommend not
Everybody's in a different situation. I mean, if somebody comes in, you spend $1,000 for an entry and somebody's going to give you 100,000.
Oh, well, that's, yeah. I mean,
You
but
know,
the
you
entry's
have
not
to
worth that
consider
yet,
it.
though. It's not worth that yet, though.
It
It's not
might
worth-
be in a week.
Yes, in 2 weeks. And our two picks on Monday from today, 1 week from now. Yes, it may 4x time. It's 25,000 right now. It very well might be worth 100,000.
Yeah.
And yes, I could say if you sell a portion of it, half of it, or someone comes in and says, hey, I want in now. Okay. Like I understand. I would absolutely look for guaranteed money. I always look for guaranteed money in everything I'm doing. So yes.
Theoretically, it's worth, however many entries are left in the money, but still a dime investment.
Right.
Still got to pick 8 more winners.
Damn.
How far away is that? Like, we're in November. It's Thanksgiving this week. You still got to pick 8 more.
Damn.
Hardest thing to win. I swear it's so hard. Oh,
Now, I mean, the first time when it was 16 weeks, the first survivor pool wasn't that hard. It was hard, but it wasn't that hard. This new 20-week game that they're playing,
yeah.
ups the difficulty tremendously.
Minnesota at home against the Bears Monday night.
Love it. Take it.
That's the one.
Yeah, take it. If you get the Vikings left, take it. Yes. Bears don't want to win, as we saw with the way they played against the Lions. Talking about playing to lose. The Chicago played to lose that game.
What the hell?
Helped me out because I teased the Lions down to 2. The Bills hammered the Jets. This idea that Aaron Rodgers is coming back is so dumb. There's no way he's coming back, right? This team sucks. Jets, it's beyond Zach Wilson. They suck.
Why in the world would you come back?
Their offensive line is absolutely atrocious. Their defense isn't even that good. Defense is okay.
Defense gets worn down.
Yep.
They're good, but they're on the field a lot because there's 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. It's the same situation the Steelers had last year. Steelers are having a lot of that same problem this year, and the defense still keeps them in games, but I'd be shocked if he's coming back. Put that in the chat right now. Will Aaron Rodgers come back this year? Yes or no? Like, I can't figure out why. I mean, maybe for him to say that he could do it or show them, hey, I'm going to be here. But Zach Wilson needed to be pulled like way before halfway through the game yesterday. Just not working. I mean, they haven't scored a touchdown it took them, I think, 10 quarters or something. That's a long time.
It was 41 drives.
41 drives. That's their 9th touchdown for the entire season.
Yep.
None of it made any sense.
Tim Boyle, starting quarterback this coming week and beyond for the New York Jets. Announcement made today by the Jets.
The line went from 7 to 9.5.
Tell you what the books think about Tim Boyle.
I hope that whoever laid it remembers those books well, that they got that number at come the holiday time. Like drop off some cookies or something and say thank you. We had a lot of guys that used to do that between this week in the book and.
You didn't find that condescending?
No. No, people love food. You go somewhere like, I mean, this is.
I know you do it.
MO
It's
of
different
drug
because you work there, so it's different. Your rapport is different than if I'm a gambler that I've been knocking you off for, all season, and they show up with cookies saying thanks to the Lions.
Just keep coming in.
Good.
So don't forget it. Don't go somewhere else.
Right.
Stay here. Keep coming in. I'll see you you going to bet NBA too? We got NHL lines. Pretty good. You should look at those first periods. How about the college baskets?
Mm-hmm.
It's picking cherries off a tree right now with college baskets for bettors. I mean, if you're not paying attention to college basketball, all you need to do is kind of watch the board.
Right.
And you can see these things here, there, whatever. There's a lot of opportunity every day. So yeah, bring in the cookies, but bet some other stuff.
Right. Don't just bet one thing. Yeah. For those of you who care, it's halftime. Tennessee is up 30-25 on Syracuse. So there's a 5-point lead for
CBW in the house. Syracuse basketball.
7th ranked Vols. That tournament, we'll get to it in a second, but I'm so bummed because we lost maybe my favorite college basketball bet of the entire year.
What?
Maui Invitational overs.
Wait, I saw this in a rundown. Where are they playing this?
Stan Sheriff Arena, Honolulu.
Oh.
Wildfires closed. They're using that gym as a staging ground for the wildfires.
Really?
Yeah. So we don't get those unbelievable Maui soft rims.
So it's going on right now?
Yeah, the first game. Syracuse and Tennessee.
Oh, I was going to pitch that to Jess to take a flight over and go to some basketball games. I thought it was next week.
No, it's always over Thanksgiving.
Damn it.
Yeah, it's always right now.
Oh,
man.
Next week.
It's always Thanksgiving. So there's 4 games today.
Yeah.
4 games tomorrow.
Okay.
Then we get into the championship. But my goodness, it was one of my favorite bets every year. Overs in Maui were so awesome. Those rims are unbelievable. The sight lines on that gym, so good. Nope. It's a nice arena. I mean, I've actually called 2 tournaments there in my career at Stan Sheriff's Arena. It's a much bigger place, much more typical of a college basketball venue.
One of my biggest fears for going on the road, like if I was a play-by-play guy or color guy or something, I would be so immersed in like getting out and doing the local culture stuff and all this other stuff. I'd be like,
you don't ever.
That's the problem.
You're part of the team. You go where the team goes.
I know.
Your downtime is like hours.
Sleeping. I know.
Well, it's like hours. You're like a window of like,
right.
Hey, you got a 2-hour window, guys. Do what you want.
Right.
Go do whatever. Go sightsee. Go do whatever you need to go ahead and go and do it. So like, what was better because the first time I went, I was a college kid, so I was with UMass women's basketball. So I was really tied to them because I was a college kid. So the university had me on their exact schedule. I was a professional when I went the very next year, same tournament, different school. I was being paid to be the voice of Virginia women's basketball, but they built in because of Thanksgiving. Their tournament didn't play on Thanksgiving. So we had a whole 24 hours to ourselves.
Oh, okay.
So on Thanksgiving morning, I got up and I hiked Diamond Head, went to the top of Diamond Head.
There you go.
And then I went to my girlfriend's uncle. At the time, my girlfriend had an uncle who was never met the guy in my life, but I had Thanksgiving dinner with him. First time I ever had fried turkey in my life.
She brought you?
I was by myself. She sent me. I was alone on Thanksgiving. I was either with the team.
You knocked on your girlfriend's uncle's door and say, "Hi, I'm Matt. She sent me." Oh, come on in. Have turkey.
Oh, yeah.
They knew you were coming.
Knew I was coming. Yeah. He's here. I walk in.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it was really awkward. It was like, "Hi, how are you?" I'm, I'm, with your niece. And like, yeah, it was interesting. It was very different, but it was fun because I'm
already having like thoughts like this. Somehow this is going to happen. Like one of my daughters is going to send somebody like to the house or something.
Oh yeah.
It's like that was always a big thing in our house. Like there were 7 of us, my parents, and then the 5 kids.
Right.
But like when you brought your boyfriend, girlfriend to the Thanksgiving meal.
Oh, that was, yeah.
Like I used to just beg my brothers and sisters, please be nice. Like, if Donnie says something like, please, like, and they would make it awkward on purpose. And there was all like a big thing. Oh God. So now
the most awkward ones for me was I was dating a girl who was an only child, and it was just me, her mom, and her mom's new boyfriend. That was awkward. That was a very weird Thanksgiving. That's where I thought we were going to get married, because we had like the marriage talk afterwards. Because you want to talk about having to be real with somebody. Like, you saw the real in that exchange. You saw mom being real because mom has to make sure that the boyfriend feels comfortable, and then mom is now with her daughter's boyfriend, making sure he's comfortable. It was, yeah, that was an interesting day.
Yeah, I had multiple different things like that. My Thanksgiving was always the weekend we went home like that. We did it at our house, but like we had spouses and
Yeah,
other people that like, in-laws, whatever.
I was
went to
always
their
gone.
place.
I was always gone because the Iron
Yeah.
Bowl, I couldn't go home.
Oh, because it was a big week.
The
Yeah,
Iron Bowl
yeah,
was
yeah,
Friday.
yeah.
The Iron Bowl
Yeah.
was Friday, so I never, when I was in Alabama for 5 years, I never went home. I was at the game. So like Thanksgiving to me really means nothing. Like it doesn't have the same, like I remember as a kid growing up, Thanksgiving meant everything. But for me personally, as an adult, I don't really, it's all Christmas. We're already decked in the house. We're already Christmased out completely.
Oh, wow.
Only thing left
Yeah.
in my house is the tree and then doing outside. There's no mention of Thanksgiving at all in my house whatsoever. We have completely
Yeah.
passed it.
And see, like over here, there's stuff in fridges. I don't know where it came from. She's starting to cooking and all this other stuff. Like, this is what my grandmother and mom did at
Mhm.
our house. We would have 12, 15 people sometimes over. And like we played football in the morning.
Right.
We were
Oh,
always
yeah.
home. My one Thanksgiving, my first one away, was when I was in Curacao in
Oh,
1997.
that's tough.
It was
The
the
first
most
one's tough.
bizarre thing.
First
It
one
was
sucks.
so hard because
Yeah.
we worked the whole day.
Right.
And then the one guy who was also from America got a turkey, and we went to this restaurant, and him and his nephew, me and now brother Smoke, and this other couple who worked in the office, Wes and Angela, had a Thanksgiving dinner. The whole time I was like, what are we doing? 6 misfits, it felt like, in Curacao in a place where they're like, why did you want a big turkey? Like, we had to have it brought in.
Of course. It's not native.
They had no idea.
Yeah, like,
They
why?
didn't care what we were doing, but we rented a room. He rented this room in
Ah,
this restaurant.
nice.
We worked all day, booked the games, and then went and had Thanksgiving dinner. Everybody went around a table and said what they were thankful for. It was like Norm tried to do a really good job of making it as normal as possible. It was the most not normal
thing ever, right?
thing ever.
It's cool for us because we're from Boston. We're from where the first Thanksgiving was. So Madeline, like whenever she's learning about it in school, she's loving to brag. And she's like, yeah, I was born 40 minutes away from Plymouth. And she's like, I know where that is. I've been there. Like,
Yeah.
so there's a big like Boston connection that she's very proud of whenever she's learning about it. But like in terms of, she will not have what I had. Like I had a enormous, I don't know. There probably wasn't a year where there was fewer than 20 people
Correct. That's
at
the
the
same way our house
at the
was every year.
Thanksgiving that I was
Yeah.
at. Because we had, in the morning, the turkey bowl was planned out at essentially somewhere around Valentine's Day or St. Patrick's Day.
Mm.
The in-laws would decide who the two captains were going to be. There would be a draft. There would be a coin flip. There'd be the rules that were going to be stated. It got very, very, very heated for about 5 years. It was as intense of a thing that I've ever been a part of in my life. It was blood. Like turkey bowl became like a really big thing in my family until my uncle snapped his knee. And when he blew his ACL in the game, that was kind of it.
Game over.
Game over. That was
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And then I went to college. Everyone went to college, and people went on, did other things. But
Right.
my cousin Joey, me, and my cousin Chris, we were psychotic with it. We were so
Right.
serious with it. It was so fun.
Of course.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
It was great.
Raymaker Lou just came in and said it. I mean, he said it really well here too. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. Younger days, the night before at the bars, the next day turkey bowl, and then eating and gambling on all the games. What more could you want?
No,
LOL.
I agree. It's a really fun.
It
fun
is that is nails it perfect. The
Wednesday night
before
is I always hated Wednesday night because
Talking
I would always get stuck in a conversation with some accountant who played football at my high school
Oh,
who couldn't figure out how the fuck I was doing what I was doing.
oh,
And he would constantly go, wait, you? You're doing what? Where? What on what station? Like they could not put it into their brain that I was working in sports and I was covering all of these major events,
Right.
and they were not. like the level of jealousy, like the outward
Really?
drunken jealousy that came out on Wednesday night, and I would just sit there with my arms folded and I would just go, "Yep, yep, yep."
Really?
Oh my God, it was such a funny every single Wednesday night, same bar. Justin's in Andover. We would all go there and you see all the same cast of characters. And it was always really funny. I always laughed. I hated, I won't say I hated it, but it was always super awkward to have that conversation going, like, just say what you want to say. Like, just say it. Like, just say like that you're shocked that I have done this, that you had no idea this is going to be my path in life, and how you're frustrated because you're stuck in a job behind a desk and you want to know how the hell to get out of it.
Wednesday night was awesome.
Oh,
Like
it's amateur hour.
A Penguin game. Oh, it's complete amateur hour. You go to a place and you don't leave. Like you can't drive around. But there was always a Penguin game. It felt like Wednesday night before Thanksgiving. So we would go to the Penguin game. We went to a place called Kane's Saloon.
Nice.
It's on a place called West Liberty Avenue in the South Hills in Pittsburgh in Dormont. Everybody knew that was the place to go and meet. And they had a couple pool tables in the back and a balcony up top that nobody went out in December or November because it was usually cold. But it was a great way to just reunite with people that you hadn't seen. And you knew that was where everybody was going to be. And then sometimes you went to the strip and got pizza after or Permani sandwiches. It just made it a night. Then you played hungover the next morning.
Yep.
And, you watched the Lions. Then you watched
no title shots, huh? No title shots on Wednesday?
No, not for me. I mean, it was title shot. It might as well have been called title shot Wednesday. Oh, there was a lot of people looking to take a title shot on both sides of the counter.
Agreed.
That was not just a men's night.
No.
They were shooting fish in a barrel too.
Oh,
Please.
yeah.
Wednesday night before Thanksgiving. It's a weird night here, though, isn't it? Wednesday night before Thanksgiving here
is nothing.
It is dead as dead could be.
No, because we do it we do it. That's called Friday night.
I was going to say that's every day that ends in Y.
That's called, it's nothing special here in Vegas. That's a Friday night. That's just, what we do here. There's nothing all that. I think
this is one of the places, where people leave to go somewhere else for Thanksgiving. When you live here, a lot of people go home, wherever that is, go visit relatives.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
So this is one of the holidays that
you go back to LA, you go back to Phoenix, you go back to if you can drive it, you drive it, or you fly it, you fly it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've gone home. I went home last year for both times, for Thanksgiving last year and for Christmas last year. And it's not that I didn't like it. It's just that I really don't like traveling anymore. Like the airline,
you got to pick one or the other.
I do. That's what I'm doing. So I'm going home for I went home for 3 days and 4 days, and I'm just gonna do one big trip now at Christmas and just go, because the airports are just not a fun place to be, and there's just constant delays. Everyone's pissed off. No one's in a good mood. Everyone is like, get out of my way. Why is my flight delayed? Why can't I do this? I mean, I think it was 150 flights yesterday were either postponed or canceled, delayed or canceled.
Here?
Yeah. They shut down every single runway, but one was shut down at McCarran
because of the wind.
Because of the wind.
It was so bad last
night.
So
you had all those people in town, all of them trying to get out.
Oh,
and you had one runway to get everybody out. It was hours upon hours upon hours, canceled, delays. So you had one runway to land and one runway to take off. That's it. So it was a serious problem. And the airport, so I saw tons of people doing posts on social media like, kill me now. This is horrible. We can't get out of here. I'm so hungover and I gotta get on a plane. It's just not fun. So the Thanksgiving travel, it's easier to travel at Christmas time than it is at Thanksgiving because everyone tries to do the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Ask the boys and girls watching the show right now. Are you traveling for Thanksgiving or staying home?
Let's see, by the way, the result of the second poll that we did today, will Rodgers be back? 78% said no for Rodgers on that.
I still don't know why he would come back. I don't know why. But yeah, ask the people if they're traveling for Thanksgiving or not. I love it. I mean, and again, I got my mother-in-law and father-in-law living here at the house with me and my wife, my 3 girls, and I've asked people, my mom and sisters and brother-in-laws and nephews are all in Arizona. May shoot down and see them. We'll see. I don't know. But it's all just about being together and doing all that stuff. So hopefully we'll.
Yeah, I think as I've gotten older, what I've learned though is that like you just try to make the best of wherever you are.
Yeah,
because I've been home so few times for Thanksgiving that like I try to make it as fun and as memorable and different as I can. And like for me growing up, like going to the movies was always like a really big thing on Thanksgiving
absolutely.
night. So we're going to the movies on Thanksgiving night. We're gonna go see Wish, and Maddie's all psyched about going to go see the film and whatnot. So like I try to make traditions, different traditions, new traditions that you can keep going with.
Yep.
Because those were the things that I did when I was little. Like I always looked forward to that Thursday night. Turkey Bowl was awesome, but I always looked forward as a kid. I always looked forward to going to the movies. Wednesday night, it was go out, party, drink, get up Thursday, play football, then eat and sit in front of the TV set and not move.
Right.
For the entire night. Thursday
night movie and then Friday football. Friday football, the day after Thanksgiving, the college games, was such a big deal.
We played our big high school football game that day. That was our big rivalry game. We played Central Catholic on the Friday after Thanksgiving. So that was always, you would go to the football game. The entire town would go to the football game to watch Andover play Central. Big rivalry. It's changed now. Andover plays North Andover now, I think, on that Friday. That changed. No longer playing Central Catholic with that. But yeah, I know a bunch of you guys are watching this game for Tennessee. Tyler said this was just the 6th time ever that Syracuse has been an underdog in basketball of more than 12 points, and just the 4th time the Vols have been favored by more than 12 away from Knoxville, ever.
Wow.
So that game right now is 38-29, Tennessee leading Syracuse with 15 to play in the second half. Back to the NFL. The Jaguars destroyed Tennessee. I had said it on Friday that I wanted to watch it to see if I could learn something about the Jaguars. I think I learned something about the Jaguars. They're live. They're going to be a problem. They may not win the AFC, but they're not an easy out. They play physical football. When they don't turn the football over, the Titans are done, but the Jags can be given the day, the Jaguars can be a problem.
I was so glad that I didn't fall for the Titans. Like, because there's been multiple times this season. I'm like, oh, that's the side. Oh, there's value. Oh, there's this. Oh, there's that. And I checked the score and I was laughing. I'm like, finally, it feels good to not be on them.
Dodged a bullet, right?
Right. I don't know how much we learned, but Jacksonville at home in the playoffs is going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
Can they be beat? Of course. Are they going to be able to go on the road and win in Baltimore or Kansas City? Yet to be determined. But
KC, I could see. I don't think Baltimore.
We'll see.
But Baltimore without Mark Andrews is just not the same football team. That's going to be brutal. What is the feeling in Steeler Nation after losing 13-10 to the Cleveland Browns?
I'll put this on for all the Browns fans. This is the Elf. It's a beautiful day in Cleveland yesterday. Terrible offensive performance.
Terrible game.
Just if it wasn't for Warren, the Steelers wouldn't have done a damn thing.
He can play.
He's running angry. He's love great.
It. He's fun.
So all of, my Pittsburgh brethren in the media at home are ready to, again, it's Pickett's fault. He's not doing the job. He must be benched. They have to get away from him. They have
it's Pickett's fault. I didn't watch that game coming away feeling like I would. I mean, they need a better quarterback, but I don't necessarily think Kenny Pickett's the biggest problem. He's a problem, but he's not the problem.
it's just the defense again plays so good, and they're
Mm.
playing against a rookie quarterback who found a way to get a win. I mean, the thing was tied 10-10 in the fourth. I thought, Stucky's texting or tweeting, and the Steeler voodoo's coming back. They're going to find a way to win. I started to allow myself to believe it, and I'm watching the game going, I think this is going to end in a tie. I really thought it was going to end in a 10-10 tie.
And then DTR completed 4 passes on that final drive.
Was impressive.
Mm-hmm.
All they
Yep.
needed was one sack there,
Yeah.
and it would have set up back the whole thing.
Yep.
They probably don't get a field goal attempt. They couldn't do it. He completed the passes. They get the field goal and win. And can the Browns be competitive in the AFC is the question. Why not? With that defense,
Because they
why
signed Joe Flacco, who's going to be on the
Morning.
active. They signed him yesterday. He's going to be on the active roster next week. Joe Flacco will be a Brown in the Browns uniform. He'll be the backup quarterback. That's why. Even they don't trust DTR. Okay. Even they're like, nah, man, like that was fun. Good job. Appreciate it. Even they're not on board going like, yeah, this guy can keep us, can take us to a playoff run.
That is just proof that as long as one guy believes in you,
True.
you're still in the game.
Oh, that's the world, right? All you ever need is one yes. 100 no's, one yes. All you need is one. You got the one from the Browns. So, and Flacco, the same deal. So,
wow. Gorov said, 1-star Gorov, hopefully he's back from San Francisco, said
Right.
the AFC is down to KC, Baltimore, or Miami.
fair.
That's it.
77% people saying no, they're not traveling on Thanksgiving.
Wow. Home parties this Thanksgiving. Wow.
Good.
Okay.
COVID probably started a lot of that.
Not to mention, like here in town, there's a lot of stuff going around.
Sicknesses? Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
Oh, yes.
Oh, just
F1 didn't do it. F1 didn't do it better either. Didn't help.
right. I don't know if Cleveland makes the playoffs. That's not going to be an easy game for anybody.
Fair. Yep.
I mean, if Cleveland's a wild card and they go down to Jacksonville and play that for the divisional, as the divisional winner, like that's a hard game.
I mean, can they score? They scored 13 points at home.
You remember when Baltimore did it with Trent Dilfer, the
Yes.
quarterback? They
Yes.
did it with defense.
Different year, different time, different game. But yes, I understand your point. Vikings lose to the Broncos on a last-second kick. Another under, thanks to a 2-point play that failed.
Right.
Also, the cover as well for the Broncos. Vikings dog in the under.
Cover, right.
Dog in the under come in. I really like Josh Dobbs a lot. I think the kid's really special and interesting, but I think it's getting a little bit too much. Like Collinsworth was a little bit too much last night. Oh gosh.
I had the pleasure of watching the game without the sound again.
Okay. So you missed all of the flowers being thrown at Josh Dobbs the
Didn't hear one thing.
entire game by Chris Collinsworth. And like, I love the story too. I bet on him too. I took him 2.5. I teased it. I did all of that under. I was all in on the Vikings last night. Yes. But woof, that was something to watch us to listen to. It was a little bit on the much side for last night, but I like the Vikings. I do. I think they're going to be fun to watch going forward. They're going to be a problem in the NFC. Even after that loss, I think Kevin O'Connell's got a guy that can run the offense better than Kirk Cousins could because he's mobile.
Right.
Can run around, can make plays. Touchdown run he made in the second half was pretty impressive. The first touchdown throw he threw was pretty cool to break a tackle and get a guy open.
Mm-hmm.
Dobbs creates something different for that Vikings. And that defense is playing. Brian Flores has that defense playing really, really well. On the other side, I mean, could Denver make the playoffs? They've won 4 in a row. Their schedule was not that bad.
What do they have? 5 wins? They're 5-5?
They're 5-5. Yep. They're right now, they're 1 game back of the Steelers for the final wild card spot.
So 5-5 is in the hunt.
6-5 Bills, 5-5 Colts, 5-5 Broncos, 5-5 Bengals. AFC is a jumbled mess at the moment.
Broncos have Cleveland at home this week. That's a tough game.
Broncos schedule is home for the Cleveland Browns,
Mhm.
at the Texans, at the Chargers, at the Lions. That's not
They
fun.
have a 3-game roadie.
Yeah, in consecutive weeks. Yikes.
Oh boy.
And then home for the Patriots, home for the Chargers, and at the Raiders to end the year.
Home for the Patriots, home for the who?
Chargers
And then
at the Raiders here.
last week of the season?
Yep. January 7th.
Wow.
It's hard to imagine that
Maybe
you may be
worse.
that the survivor might be alive in January. You may be coming down to January 7th, a week into the new year, 2024.
Wow. Denver or Buffalo make the playoffs? Good question, CBW.
Which one?
Which one?
Buffalo. They're 6-5. They already have they have a bye coming up, but
I mean, with a game in hand, yeah, but their schedule's tough.
Bill's schedule is very difficult. Yes. Steelers are in the playoffs. I mean, does it surprise you that Pittsburgh's in the playoffs as of today?
Yeah, it does, but I still think that it's possible
I told you. I think they're
based on their schedule. Like, I don't know if 9-8 is going to be good enough, though. I really don't.
Can they win 4 more games? Here's Pittsburgh's schedule. They play at the Bengals. No Joe Burrow.
Right?
Home for the Cardinals.
Okay.
Home for the Patriots.
Okay.
At the Colts.
Okay.
Home for the Bengals.
Yeah.
No Joe Burrow. At the Seahawks.
All right.
At the Ravens.
Why not?
There's 4 wins in there. There's 4 wins there.
It's possible.
Bengals, Cardinals, Patriots. You should win the next 3 games. And the Colts, too. You can win that game on the road against the Colts. You can win the next 4 games. They could be sitting there at 10-4.
Wow, let's pick them at one place. Otherwise, the Steelers are 1-point favorites in Cincy this week. Oh, hate
They
that.
should be.
Oh,
They win it by 3, 13-10.
34 is the total.
Yep.
34.
Under.
Game
Under.
closed yesterday, 33. It wasn't even close in our
Under. Yep.
competition between points in the Steelers and Browns game versus points in the Iowa-Illinois game. The college game had more, which is what we said, which is good. But they both went under. Oof, terrible.
Terrible. To college football we go. FSU loses Jordan Travis for the year in a horrific leg break injury that just stinks. He
I
announced
didn't watch it. Was it bad?
Oh,
It was bad, right? Like when I get the thing, like, don't watch it if you get, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to watch it.
remember Willis McGahee?
Yes. Same. Oh,
That type of injury. Snap. Like instant, no question, you're done. Like that. No need for a report. Like you're done. Like everyone knew it the second he did it. You're done. They go to 30-1 to win it all. Now here's the question. They've got Florida this weekend. This Roadheimer kid, Roadmaker kid, highly touted, played decent against North Alabama, coming in relief. Have a whole week of practice to get him ready. They beat Florida.
uh-huh.
They were 10.5-point favorites. I don't know what they're going to be now. Maybe 3.
Hold on. Let's look. Was this the excuse that the committee needs to keep them out?
This is where I'm going. Yes.
Because you're not the same team, despite the fact that you are undefeated?
Yeah.
Are they going to lose the ACC championship game anyway?
No. Who, to Louisville? No.
Why not?
No. Mm-mm. They're going to win out. They're going to beat Florida, and they're going to beat Louisville. They're going to be undefeated. They're going to be 13-0. And I cannot wait to see what the committee does because they are nowhere near. They're going to squeak by Florida. They're going to squeak by Louisville. They're going to win both games. And the committee is going to be sitting there going, what the hell do we do? Because if we put a number 4 number next to Florida State and they play Georgia or they play Michigan, they're going to get housed.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're gonna do the best 4 teams, how do you keep Florida State in the 4? But then again,
6.5-point favorite at Florida.
okay, there were 10. So Jordan Travis is worth 4
50.
points.
Yeah, 50 is the total.
So if they win out and like say the kid shows some competency, right? Say the backup comes in and plays relatively well. I think
What are you saying if you leave them out? None of it's important.
That's the problem, right? If you leave them out as an undefeated ACC champion, which is a conference that's not going anywhere, by the way, so you can't do the Pac-12 thing with Washington and Oregon and be like, well, you're not going to be there anyway, so it doesn't matter. You can't do that. ACC is not going anywhere. You have an undefeated Florida State team, a conference champion. I think they will look for every reason to put a one-loss team in over them. I just don't know if they're going to be able to do it. They're losing that game. They're going to be double-digit dogs, maybe even 2 touchdown dogs.
One of the best betting opportunities was when they went to this playoff thing, and Notre Dame was playing Alabama. They were 16.5-point dogs. And we knew in droves, like we could have laid up to like 24. And people were betting Notre Dame, like taking them on the money line, taking them plus the points. And we were just like, they're not on the same level, on any level. Not, I mean, it's one guy, it's the quarterback, and he was, in the running for Heisman, all this other stuff. It's a shame he got hurt. But if they go 13-0, and the committee goes, it was a great regular season. It's awesome. You guys won your championship. These are all the prerequisites to get in the playoff. But
scrap it.
Enjoy the bowl game you go to, because your guy's not there, so you're going to lose. And we need a competitive television show in game.
Right.
So thanks for coming. Can't happen.
It can't, but I'm prepared for it to happen. It's college football. This is why it's so stupid what we do. It's the dumbest way ever to determine a champion, that we allow people in a boardroom to say whether or not you're good enough. And if you're Alabama, if you're a one-loss Alabama team, and you beat Georgia, beat the number 1 team in the country, and you have a one-loss Georgia and a one-loss Alabama and an undefeated Michigan
one-loss Texas, who beat Alabama too. Don't forget them.
Fair. No, they're in the argument. I agree. They're there. They're the problematic child in all of this. And they're the problem for the Alabama side, because you're going to have a one-loss Oregon team and maybe a one-loss Washington team. There may only be one undefeated team when we get to the playoff.
Right. Then what are you going to do?
Then what do you do? Now we're splitting hairs in a really bad way. But here's the problem. There might be 2 undefeated teams, and it might be Michigan and it might be Florida State.
They're both in.
If they're both in, it is Armageddon chaos for the last 2 spots.
Yeah, it is. There's going to be a lot
Ohio
of
State, Washington, Oregon. Ohio State, Washington, Oregon, Georgia, Alabama for 2 spots.
Yeah.
What do you do with that? That's really hard.
It's all going to work out. I'm telling you.
It normally does.
Somehow Louisville will win. Probably take Florida State out.
Okay. I don't think so.
I don't know. Ask the chat. If Florida State's undefeated, are they in? Ask the people. If Florida State's undefeated, are they in the playoff? Yes or no? I would vote. I'm voting yes. As soon as this pops up in the chat, which again, if you're watching the show live on the YouTube, it's a participative show. We love and value every single one of you that take the time out of your day to watch and be here with us and communicate with each other. You give me ideas. I give you ideas. It all works out. Perrault's sitting here making sure it all stays together. If Florida State is undefeated or in the college football playoff, absolutely yes. Dan, absolute yes.
I hope you're right. I do. My 10-1 ticket hopes that you're right, because I want to be able to hedge off of it, because I will hedge heavy off of it.
Oh, man. Whitrock said this has the potential to be the most fun playoff chaos ever. It absolutely does.
It does, or it could be nothing. Or it could, or like you just said, it could work itself out, because it all comes down. This game has a lot to say, because Michigan is favored for the first time in 5 years over Ohio State. They both won. Michigan a little more difficult than Ohio State, but Michigan did win. What do you make of if this is a blowout one way or the other? Because it might
blow out one way or the other. The team that gets blown out is going to the Rose Bowl.
I would agree, right? Because if Ohio State blows out Michigan, which I think is possible,
they're going to send. Listen. They want them out.
They do 100%.
We don't need Jim Harbaugh coming back to the Big Ten championship and then going to the playoff.
Yep.
If you're the NCAA, you can see clearly there's something behind the scenes or something. They don't want that. So Ohio State wins convincingly. Bye-bye. Enjoy the Rose Bowl. We'll see you in Pasadena.
Yeah, I agree.
If
I guess
Michigan
maybe
blows
Oregon
out Ohio State, you can't even justify giving them the one loss over someone of these other teams. I don't think so.
Michigan versus Oregon would be incredible, or versus Washington would be incredible in the Rose Bowl.
A Rose Bowl, that'd be awesome.
Send it out with a bang. Michigan, Oregon, or Michigan, Washington. That'd be fun.
It's going to be hard to live up to. Last year's Rose Bowl was Penn State, Utah with like 100 points, right?
Right. Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, that was so much fun. But yeah, one loss Big Ten team is out. At the CBW.
No debate. Yeah, no debate. Although, again, if Ohio State loses the game 23-20.
Oh, here we go.
All right.
Cover the spread. Close game, last second field goal. Okay, now what? Go ahead, continue.
I don't think Ohio State's 100% out. I don't think it's a for sure, like, cross their name off the list. How that game goes on Saturday will have a lot to say about whether or not a one-loss Big Ten team could have a chance. I'm not saying they get in to have a chance. Ohio State's win, the committee has already stated that Penn State win over Ohio State was very significant for them. They value that a lot.
Ohio State win over Penn State. Yeah.
What did I say?
You said reversed.
Oh, sorry.
Penn State beat Ohio State.
Ohio State's win over Penn State was heavily valued by the committee. Now, maybe it's been devalued as the year has gone on, but they're going to end the year 10-2. And they're going to look at the other resumes. In Michigan's resume, the only other great win they've got is going to be Penn State. So Penn State, Ohio State, they're over. If they lose to Ohio State, they have one loss. Michigan is gone. Like Michigan, a one-loss Michigan team is not getting in, period. But a one-loss Ohio State team, I don't know. There may be something to be said about that. They may have a shot, outside shot.
They never let the one-loss Big Ten teams.
Fair. It just
not with other options.
Fair. You're right. There's just so many. Because do they want two SEC teams? Do they want two Big Ten teams? They would prefer two SEC. I would agree with you. They would prefer Alabama, Georgia to be in it. I would completely agree. Can they find their way to that? Maybe. Bama's got to beat Auburn this coming weekend, which they probably will. Auburn just lost a game that I cannot. They paid they paid $1.8 million to and they got beat at home. That is an unbelievable loss that can only be described as like completely stunning. So Alabama should kill Auburn this weekend. And then they'll sit there and they'll go to the SEC championship game and have a chance to take on Georgia. And if they beat Georgia, they'll have the best win of anybody with one loss. Better than Texas.
Alabama?
Yes.
But they lost to Texas.
But they have a bet. Texas's best win is over Alabama. Alabama's win over Georgia is better than the win over them.
What's the purpose of playing head-to-head, though?
It's just the way the game flies. It's the Pac-12. Look, Texas did not look great against Iowa State. They got away from them in the fourth quarter, but that was a
hard game.
6-3 in the third quarter, right? It was a complete, slobber knocker of a football game. Alabama goes in there and beats Georgia. Look at the resume. LSU, Tennessee.
Oh, they're in. I don't
right.
know why we're discussing.
They're in.
If Bama beats Georgia, they're in.
They're in. And then you're down to the winner of the Ohio State-Michigan game. Florida State, if they go undefeated.
Well, we have over, I don't know how many votes, but it's 83% right now. Florida State is undefeated or they're in the College Football Playoff. If you're here watching the show, go vote in the poll. That at least is real. I think if they find a way to keep them out, then they can make all these other big schools happy. But they got to keep Florida State in if they're undefeated. So they're in. It's going to be awesome. Friday, there's games that are going to ultimately, like Oregon's playing Oregon State, right?
Yeah, Civil War. Yeah.
On Friday.
Yeah. I wasn't very impressed with Oregon State against Washington. They should have won that game. Left so many opportunities on the field.
Did it? My bones hurt watching that game with all that wet,
cold, and nasty.
rain.
Yeah. But that was their type of game, though, right? That was their environment. It's Washington's too, I guess. But I thought the Beavers were going to win that game, and they had different opportunities to take advantage. Michael Penix can throw a football. Like, I'm not sure how good of a pro he'll be, but as a college quarterback, he can throw a football.
Yeah.
He's got
LL is in here. He said he think it goes the Bama, Georgia winner, the Ohio State, Michigan winner,
okay,
Oregon, Washington winner,
okay,
and Texas.
No, I'm not listening to that. No, Texas has not looked good. They've not been impressive. If they had a Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback, and if they were, no, I don't see it. They've taken care of business. They've beaten Alabama, but the Oklahoma loss is really going to stink. It's going to stick out. It's a bad loss to Oklahoma.
I don't know. I think they're going to if they can find a way to get them in, I think they will.
I mean, obviously it's the audience, it's the size, it's Texas, it's the burnt
orange. Gigantic.
Yeah, think about it. Think about the name brand. If it's Georgia, Texas, Michigan, Florida State.
It's pretty good.
It's a TV show, right?
Different parts of the country.
Big brands.
Like big stuff.
Yeah, it's a TV show. So I always keep that in mind, that it is ultimately a TV show. One more quick one before tonight on Monday Night Football. UNLV, man, 9-2. They beat Air Force.
After them.
Barry Odom. Hello.
Kidding me?
A win.
How are they not in the top 25?
It's a great question. Really is. It's an awesome question. It's just no one's paying attention because it's Mountain West football. You're absolutely right. Why aren't they ranked? They should be ranked. They are they? Yeah, the receiving votes. It's Utah, NC State, UNLV. So they're 28th technically.
They should be 25th.
They should be. I mean, look. Tennessee is 7-4. They're 25th. I mean, come on, bro. 9-2. 9-2.
I don't know. Georgia whooped up. Georgia makes everybody look bad though. So that's. I don't know if I would just kick them out or not vote for them, but watching UNLV, it's fun. It's just neat because it's never really happened while I've been here.
1979. They started playing college football in 1979. They've had 3 9-win seasons.
Wow.
Since 1979.
Yeah. So this is a big deal. They are 3-point favorites this week at home against San Jose State.
And they are 10-1 ATS. Just FYI. They are the number 1 team in sports betting. The best record against the number. And they play in the home of sports betting in America. And they have the best number, the best record of anybody else. Books cannot get that team right.
I mean, this number seems right.
Yeah, fair.
3-point favorite. San Jose State. I mean, I got to go back and look at.
They're 5-5. They're 6-5. They just became bowl eligible. This game means nothing to San Jose State. I think UNLV is going to kill them. They got to win this. This is a big game for UNLV. They got to win this game to get into the Mountain West Conference Championship, and they host it here. They win against San Jose State. They host it at Allegiant.
Oh, there has to be. If that happens, there has to be a big push to fill the place.
Oh my God! There
has to be a gigantic. I mean, it has to look like Raider game stuff.
It's going to be. Yeah,
it has to be. That I feel like obligated to go.
Agreed.
Like, take the kids and say,
Agreed.
Look, this is a big event. Like,
agreed.
It may not be a big event in your world. Like, it'll be a big event in Kelsey's world because she's
in my world too.
Your world teaching there. The Juice said Air Force was ranked 2 weeks ago before they shat the bed.
Correct.
How was UNLV not ranked?
It's fair. They were also undefeated.
Air Force was.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why they were ranked. They were undefeated. Then they lost at home and they lost at Hawaii. And now they lost to UNLV. I mean, the wacko, like, dog eat dog world of the Mountain West Conference, when you watch it, is pretty crazy. I mean, like, they've all beaten each other, and UNLV just was able to avoid that second loss. because they lost to
How cold is it
Fresno.
in Kansas City, by the way. Do we got anybody in Kansas City on the ground? I mean, they just showed Orlovsky. He looks like
Nasty.
he's freezing.
Nasty. Let's go to the game
Man.
before we let go of Sports Grid.
Yeah.
Eagles Chiefs under
Oh.
45.5. Cold, wet, rainy, nasty. Been there. No fun. No fun.
We're seriously reevaluating whether we're going to go to Pittsburgh or not for that Patriots Steeler game. I don't know if I have it in me, Perrault.
Not wet. I can deal with cold and snow. Like, I hated that. That 40-degree temperature when it's not cold enough to snow and it's drizzly and it's windy.
Wintry mix.
No
Those
thanks.
2 words.
The worst.
Sorry, Will. I hate wintry mix. I fucking hate wintry mix.
Yep.
Wintry mix is what made me pick up, call the phone, and move to Curacao.
Yeah.
I had enough. I was on the sideline of that game. It started as rain. The night turned into night, and it started to snow, and the flurries was going down my back. I'll never forget it. Enough of that. That's what it looks like tonight in Kansas City. The numbers going up. It's 46.
I don't get that at all.
Oh, I do.
Nope.
I do. Oh,
I
yeah.
don't.
The weather. as we
Chiefs
know,
defense
T-Bell
is why I don't
commercial
get it.
show. I think a lot of times bad weather helps the offense.
Maybe, but it's not just bad weather. It's just the way these teams play.
The defense is going to win this game.
Yep.
Either team.
Yep, I would agree.
It's not about the offenses.
Nope, agreed.
It's not. The
You can't do
defense
this.
that
The Chiefs'
makes
offense
most-
isn't any good. Chiefs' offense is not good. Is it? You have Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. You don't think that everyone now knows what to do with Travis Kelce? It's not Taylor Swift, guys. Got nothing to do with Taylor Swift. Defenses
here we
just
go.
know how to take away Travis Kelce.
Here we go.
Taylor's not going to be there, so it doesn't matter.
The in-laws are meeting.
It's the dumb. If that happens, if they show that for more than 2 seconds, I'm going to punch my TV. I don't need to see. I don't need to see.
Not Thanksgiving week. I can't.
Please do not show me. I don't need Travis Kelce.
You're
his
going to
mom.
see it.
Once. Show me in the pregame. Show me once, and that's it. Get out of it, and I'm done. Okay. Show me Taylor. I get why. Taylor's not going to be there. She's not present. Stop. I don't care about the Swifts and the Kelce's meeting. It means nothing to me. So don't show it to me tonight. Like, I don't need it.
You're going to
Don't
see it.
bet it either. But the book's out. The book is out. Take away Kelce, make someone else beat you, and the Chiefs really don't have that many other guys that can beat you. Jalen Hurts wins this game tonight.
Ask the chat. KC -2.5.
It's too late. in the
Eagles
show.
+2.5.
We'll do it a second. We'll do it on the
Well,
other
no,
side.
we'll reveal the answer on BVB bonus time, which is
Yeah.
coming up here in a minute. But put that poll up there. I'm curious because I don't know. Like, I've seen the line today. Chris went to 3.
Yep.
It lasted 6 minutes. It went right
Right.
back to 2.5.
Yeah. Everyone's waiting on Eagles +3. Thank you.
It's great because it literally is sitting right there.
Yep.
We saw Denver against Minnesota last night, primetime game with a total 43. Game goes under. It never went to 3. And it fell 1. I don't know who you bet. I mean, the guys are voting in the chat. KC money line. KC
Great.
money line.
Everyone's on the this is awesome. I love this. Everyone's quoting the Andy Reid ATS record after a bye. I love it. Keep on spewing it. Throw it all out there. I love it. It's phenomenal. I'll just say this so we can come back tomorrow and you can laugh at me when I'm wrong.
What?
Eagles money line. Eagles +2, +8.5, under 51.5, under 45.5.
Damn, son.
All bets made so far on this game.
All of it.
Go green.
my.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
I am on the Eagles tonight.
I didn't see that one coming.
I am on the Eagles on a variety of ways tonight in this game. I had a very good day yesterday. I went 8-0 on my picks on Sunday, on my bets on Sunday.
Good day.
Yeah, I went 8-0.
With
So
the props and stuff too.
everything swept it. I
good
swept
Lord, that's
I
great.
swept the whole board. So I'm feeling very good today. So I'm coming out and I'm firing multiple times on this game tonight. Chiefs blow them out. I'm dead.
Wow. Fly, Eagles, fly. Wow.
I normally
All right.
don't like. I'm not a very big Eagles person, but when it comes to the Chiefs, your enemy of your enemy is your friend. And that's where I am here tonight.
Enemy of your enemy is your friend. Whoa. Really?
So that's where I am tonight.
Are you putting a chat up in BVB bonus time, or are you letting these guys just vote in the chat?
Well, regardless, I'll figure that out on the other side. If you guys are
All right.
live on YouTube and Twitter, don't move. If you guys
Just
are
be
watching on replay on SiriusXM or on Sports Grid TV, we'll see you guys tomorrow. For you guys live, we get you for bonus time. Okay. So what do you want the question?
Can I make a proposal?
Sure.
Run this by you. It has been nonstop that I've seen Peyton and Eli talking about coming to Vegas and hanging out with them at Caesars and getting a ticket to the game and all that stuff.
Okay.
Can you and I film a commercial like that, and we'll just go stand in front of somewhere and say, "Come to Vegas and meet us. We live here." And we'll each put on a sport coat. It'll be fun.
Where do you want to air
me to
this?
shoot it
Where do you want to air this said commercial?
on our Twitter feeds, on our YouTube channel, on our show.
Okay.
You know, hey, yeah,
We'll make
all of you are coming to Vegas, but none of you live here. We live here.
True.
We'll see you in February. We don't have
True.
tickets to the game. We don't.
But
we'll
there may be
watch the game.
there may be a way of meeting us and hanging out with us, and a little Super Bowl gathering.
Right. We could go and watch the game in a book. We've done that. I've done that for 20 years here. So we could hook that up. Whatever you want. But I was kicking that around. I'm like, I got to watch this commercial for the next, 3 months.
Yes, you do.
Right. So, well, just a little parody.
Sport coat with matching BVB hats and you wearing a jersey underneath the sport coat has been suggested in the chat.
Really?
I like that idea.
Sounds like a great idea.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. So we'll see how that happens.
Okay.
Okay. So we talked about a little.
I'll put on a jersey
Under the coat.
So they'll think like, oh, well, is that Dave jinxing him, or is that Dave who he likes?
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Oh, which team?
Right?
Good point. Yeah.
Which
Throw a
team?
little
I mean,
curve-
that'd be very
throw a
important.
curveball. Yeah, it's true. Throw a curveball. Although we couldn't air that. Got to be careful with the logos and whatnot. But yeah,
We'll hide the logo, just the colors.
just the colors. Yeah. I
Sport
like
coat
that.
will cover up. The
Oh,
logo.
I've got that jersey that doesn't have any team logos on it.
Aha!
You can wear that. You can wear that. So it's a jersey, but it's not actually it has a color of a team that may actually get here. So maybe there's a thing there. So again, so no Maui Invitational in Maui. It's being played in Honolulu at the home of Hawaii, Stan Sheriff Arena. So Purdue Gonzaga today. Total's 154.5. Purdue is laying 5 on this one.
Time is this game?
This afternoon. It's a phenomenal game.
Hold
Best
on.
game of the day.
This is the best game of the season so far.
Yeah. 2:00 our time. 5:00 Eastern.
Guess what I'm doing after the show?
Yeah. It's a really good game.
I'm going to get lunch and watch some basketball.
Especially because you've got Zach Edey up against this Huff kid for Gonzaga. He's 6'10". He's like a Drew Timme clone. Zags always have a big guy who can play. Now, Edey is 7'4", okay? But he's 6'10". It's not short. It's going to be a really interesting battle. I think Gonzaga runs them. I think they're going to try to run Edey into the bench. Tire the hell of him out. I expect a really fun game.
Purdue -5.
What?
The line is Purdue -5 or 5.5.
I know. That's where it says. Purdue -5.
You think Gonzaga's going to run them out?
Oh, yeah. No. Run tempo. Not beat 'em.
I thought you were making a case right there for Gonzaga money.
Oh, I think Gonzaga wins. I do. Oh, yeah. I think Gonzaga wins.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I think Gonzaga wins. Yes. But look, I'm never a big Matt Painter fan. I can't. I've seen Purdue has blown so many games. Matt Painter is the king of the chokes when you're favored and you're a highly ranked team, especially Painter against Mark Few. Give me the Zags. Give me the Zags. So I like Gonzaga to win the game, but my favorite play is I like the over in the game. I think this is going to be a fast game today. Purdue wants to slow it down. I think Gonzaga forces the issue.
Oh, I so like Purdue in this game.
Have you watched much of Purdue yet?
No.
Purdue's, this is the number 1 versus number 3 offense for efficiency in the country.
154 and a half.
Yep. Over.
Wow.
Number really
I
hasn't
don't know
moved.
if this was better to book it. I got
It
Purdue.
is. It is.
Oh,
well, no.
okay, good.
The total is, but the side's not. But the
Oh,
total.
you like
is.
over? I
Yeah.
guess the way you just said that. All right,
Yeah.
let me see.
Prefer the over.
Oh boy. Okay.
Lower 80s, upper 70s. Second game is UCLA Marquette, or I guess this is the last game.
Hold on.
What?
You know, there's another game after the Purdue Gonzaga game.
Yeah, it's
out there.
Kansas. It's Kansas against Chaminade. Numbers 42 and a half.
I just hit refresh because I thought my eyes were gone.
Yeah.
Or that number 42 is the biggest number I've ever seen for a college basketball game.
No, it's been bigger. They're a D2 school, Dave.
I know.
Chaminade's D2 against the number 1 team in the country.
42?
They're going to win by 9. They can win. It's literally named their score. Whatever Kansas wants to win by, they can win by.
So you would lay this before you would take this?
100% I would lay this before I would take this. There's no way in hell I'm taking the points with Chaminade. No way. With Hunter Dixon, he could score 40 himself. They don't have no answer to that kid. It's the best player in college basketball. It's going on. Trust me. Bet him to go 20 and 20 tonight. That's what Dickinson's going to go tonight. Minimum 20 and 20.
Wow.
Only way he doesn't play enough because they're up 100 to 10. Chaminade is a D2 school playing the number 1 national championship contending KU Jayhawks. Not worth betting, not worth watching. An absolute.
What about the game after that?
That's this one. UCLA Marquette. Very much excited to watch
This is
this.
a hell of a basketball game, no?
It is, but UCLA hasn't been great. They're 1-2 ATS on the year. They've played games at home against very lesser opponents and looked kind of disinterested. Marquette just went to Illinois and won on the road. I'm putting my money where my mouth is with my love of Marquette tonight. I like the over. I like the side better.
Oh, I mean, first blush, I like dog and under, but again,
only the under could come in because UCLA can really grind it,
right?
That because that's how Cronin wants to play. So that's why I didn't bet it, because there is the chance the numbers moved from 138.5 last night up to 141.5. So the money overnight came in on the over. So I'm with the money on the over. I think that I came close to betting it. I didn't. And then the number went from 5.5 to 6. I'm on Marquette 5.5, and I want under 6. This is if you haven't bet this game yet, this is the top. I would not go if it goes to 6.5. I wouldn't bet it. I would stay off it or take the dog. But I don't think Marquette wins by double digits, but I do think Marquette wins by a couple of buckets.
Chris Brady came in the chat and just said Marquette first half -3, minus
like
115 for him.
I like it. It's a good play. And the other ranked team in New York is UConn, Texas, which is going to be that's a big game. This is what UConn fans.
Too?
That's tonight. Yep. Yeah, there's 3 really good basketball games tonight.
See, like this is so much fun. This week was always crazy in the book. There's just too much going on, and everybody's taking time off, and you can't manage this stuff, and you're watching stuff that you normally don't, and I would have guys going, "Wait, why is Calgary this or that?" I'm like, "Please don't touch the hockey, please, because they got to do it because there's like 2 people in a whole joint watching everything this week until Thursday. The bosses all take off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
Nobody's around. No emails get answered. Nothing happens. Oh, but there's a zillion college basketball games. This is stealth, a good game.
Yep. Oh, no, this is not stealth. This is a good game. It's not even stealth. This is a good game. UConn people are going to come out in droves. When they play in New York, stores empties. They all go. Huge home court advantage.
People are looking for a reason to get out of Connecticut every day, no?
And this is a big one to go watch their team play a ranked Texas team at the Garden.
This game's at 4:00.
Yeah. I like UConn to cover.
Oh, wow. See, I lean dog in a lot of these neutral site games.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm the opposite. I think the favorite's far more likely to cover in neutral site games.
Okay. Huh.
Especially in tournament games, because you're playing a lot of games in multiple days. Talent tends to win. Talent tends to win now, unless it's conference tournament games. In the non-conference, I tend to lead towards the favorite because the games get lopsided in the non-conference because you play teams you haven't seen before. Conference tournament games, yeah, I'm very much on the dog for conference tournament, neutral site games.
Tyler said he's on the UCLA Bruins in that late game
Okay.
against Marquette. Connecticut, Texas. I guess we'll watch and see. Louisville plays at Indiana. Indiana's -8. That game's coming up in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's why I didn't
blowout. That's a blowout, right?
Yeah, that's not a competitive. Louisville's been one of the worst college basketball teams in recent memory. Their program is an absolute dumpster fire.
It used to be so.
When Rick was there, oh yeah, it was amazing. When Rick was there,
before that, Denny Crum with the comb over. They always had a good team.
Yeah, no, it's a big problem. I mean, that's a basketball town state. For Louisville to be as bad as they've been, it's been really hard. It's been tough to stomach.
Wow.
With how bad Louisville's been over the last 2 years, but in particular, but last 5 years that haven't been good either.
Right.
A couple of quick hockey games. Yep. Edmonton, Florida. It's a pick tonight. Total 7.
Over.
I mean, it has to be right.
First blush, yeah.
How do you bet under this game?
To be honest, I didn't look at one. I knew there was a big slate of hockey today, but I didn't look at the matchups. This is why very important we have to keep doing the show, not just for the Brigade and the people that watch the show, but for me and you. Because you will point out something and I'll go, oh, yeah, I'm supposed to look at that. Wow. 7 under 30 is the prevailing number now.
It's high. 7's high.
These bots and all these people, they just keep betting like just the number. I get it, but I'm good with the book. Them laying the juice on under 7 and we need over.
Right. Bruins are at Tampa. Kind of a short favorite at -135 on the road.
Up.
Oh, it is?
Of course.
What's it now?
140, 142.
Yeah.
Go higher. You want Tampa? I wouldn't bet Tampa with stolen money.
No, can't do that. You can't do that at all. Rangers at Dallas, same price or was same price.
Good hockey game.
This is the game of the night.
Wow.
Rangers Dallas is the game of the night in hockey.
Oh, man. Over?
Wow, really?
Yeah.
It's going down to 5.5. It's going down.
Dallas is painted 6.
Oh, it's 5.5 in certain books. Now it's 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's only 1 5.5 left, DraftKings.
Okay. Yeah, there's multiple this morning.
No, I like over.
Dallas is turning into an over team.
I know.
It's weird. It's like, what's going on? And the Rangers now have just
the Rangers can skate. They
don't play defense. They just score.
I really like the way the Rangers play. It's fun, and
I bet them on Saturday against the Devils, and just on the money line because it was a pick. It was a pick 'em price.
Right.
They won 5-3. Like that's a game that would have gone under like all the time. Like that would have been an under game, and then 8 goals being scored. Didn't just go over; it flew over. So I was like, "Huh."
It's like they took the reins off a little bit and said, "Skate, score, skate, score." Sidewise, slight lean to
Dallas
at home.
Agreed.
I get it. I mean,
the Rangers are really good at home and on the road. They're good.
Yeah. Over.
Interesting. And then finally, Vancouver. I bring this up. You can do the puck line fade if you want. It's -145. It's getting very expensive to fade the Sharks on the road. This is when I would not bet the Sharks on the puck line at home anymore. I would take that off, but I would bet them I bet against them on the puck line on the road. But is Vancouver worth a shot to win the cup? The prices are really long.
Listen,
you can get 30-1.
Yeah, the 8 seed has won the cup before. It can happen. I don't know.
You think Vancouver's going to be the 8 seed?
I don't know. Are they going to win a division?
I mean, I don't think they beat the Knights, but I mean,
so that means they're a minimum 4 seed.
They're 12-5-1.
1, 2, or 3. So are they going to be the best team that didn't win a division? Probably not.
I don't know. I mean, just look at the way they've played right now. I mean, they've got 25 points. If they had 25 points, they'd be leading every division but one. They'd be tied for the Metropolitan. They'd be leading the West. They'd be leading the Central, and they'd be just behind the Bruins.
Right.
I mean, they've gotten off to a really good start. They're 6-1-1 at home.
They got to get home ice.
Right. They're going to house the Sharks tonight. They're going to house the Sharks tonight.
380 money line?
Puck line. I mean, you can't bet on money line.
Holy crap.
But puck line, you can bet them on the puck line.
6.5's the total. I think under.
Maybe. Crap. San Jose only scores 1 or 2 goals.
I was going to say 4-1's a final with that.
At home, though, all of a sudden, San Jose scoring, which is like, wait,
maybe?
what?
Yeah.
But yes, I think under is probably a decent shot.
Wow.
Time for better. Let's rip through these. Eagles plus 2.5.
Bet it. I mean, we're dressed like freaking and Dick Vermeil.
Dick Vermeil. Oh, he's still a Chief guy in my mind, but yes. Plus 8.5, under 51.5. Same game teaser.
I mean, for the purposes of the show, I have to say book it again because that's what we do with the teasers. But that's pretty good. I don't know which side loses.
10-point win for the Chiefs. That's how.
I don't think there's any way in hell this game goes over 51.5.
No, but 20-10.
I
lose.
You lose. That's right.
I lose both bets at 20-10. Eagles victory is what I'm going to need.
Yeah.
Under 45.5.
Oh, you're spreading the whole thing. You're
told you I'm spraying it. I'm going all.
I like this bet.
Going in. Timberwolves laying 3 against the Knicks tonight at home.
Basketball.
Yeah.
What the?
Minnesota's beaten Boston. They beat Denver. Beaten Golden State. Keep the Minnesota train rolling at home.
Minnesota at home. Why is it so short?
Because the Knicks have won 3 games in a row in this road trip. This is the 5th game of the 5-game road trip, though. First game back for the T-Wolves to start a homestand.
Oh, give me the dog.
Why?
I'll take the 3. I'll say book it.
Why?
Yeah. First game back, and the Knicks are on a 3-game winning streak on the road.
5-game road trip. They've won 3 games in a row. Lost to Boston, won the next 3.
Keep it close. Probably comes down to the last bucket. I'll take the 3.
I'll lay the 3. Purdue Gonzaga over 154.5, like I mentioned.
Oh, I'll trust your judgment on this and say bet it.
Okay. And then finally, Marquette laying 5.5 against UCLA.
I like dog.
Okay.
Can't
go with McCronin. Super chat questions. Chef Benny, a season B's parlay tonight is plus 115. Celtics against Charlotte laying 9.
Oh, geez.
Bruins up against Tampa laying minus 135.
That's plus money?
Plus 115, yeah.
And a boy, Chef B. We got to copyright that. The B's and C's parlay brought to you by the BBB and the Brigade. I love it. I think that wins. I mean, the Celtics aren't losing to Charlotte.
No.
So
CBW,
you make an unbelievable masterful performance by the Tampa Bay goalie, and somehow they beat the Bruins. But that got to be money, the B's and C's.
Tennessee covered 73-56. Syracuse got housed. They play the loser of the Zags-Purdue game tomorrow. What's that number going to be tomorrow? They were 12.5-point dogs today to Tennessee.
Oh,
the hell is Syracuse to Gonzaga or Purdue? Ooh, boy, it's going to be bad. Bear Malling said Sterling wants Max at 145 for UFC 300. Aljamain Sterling wants to fight Max Holloway. Wants a payday, huh? I'm not really a fan of that. C's might be sitting Porzingis. Doesn't matter, though. They sat Porzingis and Brown and still won against Philadelphia.
Did you say they're playing back-to-back and barely beat Memphis last night? Take caution. That's true, but I don't know. They're not losing to Charlotte.
No, I don't think so either.
It's not one of those games.
Charlotte's bad. Charlotte's bad. I don't know, Bear. It's a great question. I think Sterling wants a payday, and that's about it. Everyone's after Max went through the hell week with David Goggins and got a ton of run and publicity for his fight coming up here next month. I mean, I don't know. The UFC is becoming a fight that they're all copying what Dana White wants, which is big fights and big money fights. And I don't really blame them for that. But I mean, the competitive nature of Max Holloway says he'll be in any fight he gets into, but I don't really need to see Aljamain Sterling fight Max. That's not really at 145. Like I don't know. That doesn't really do. It's interesting, but it's kind of like the PFL buying Bellator. It's like it's interesting, but it doesn't really do it for me. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Favorite thing about today is what?
So I told you before the show,
blow my mind, right?
That yeah. So yesterday I go down to Caesars to meet my high school friend, Danny P. Not high school, my grade school friend. This was the kid that grew up from. I think I met him at kindergarten at 5. We hung out together, played sports together till he was 10. He moved again 3 miles away, and I didn't see him again until high school. I mean, didn't have a car or whatever, So we hang out and talk for 5 hours. His brother Jeff is there. This guy Scott, who we went to religious school together, and we were the rebels of the class. Like we joke about it now. We're probably the misfits back then, and like we probably there's a lot of doctors and lawyers and people running hedge funds and other stuff in his religious school class. But we made it through. We played hockey, and it was great to see him. He's coaching hockey now with his boys. He's got 3 boys. Finished the night. It's 1:30 in the morning last night. I'm walking out of Caesars, and I turn because there's one joint open to eat, and I'm starving. The DeFera pizza place. So I'm like, this is a terrible decision, but I'm starving, and I need to eat something before I drive home. So I said, I'll get a piece of pizza. So I turn. Otherwise, I was going right to the exit, up the parking garage, get my car and go home. I turn and go to the pizza place. And as I turn, there's a couple people there. There's not that many people there. And this kid turns to me and goes, hey, man, Dave, BVB? And I go, yeah. He goes, I can't believe it. And I said, well, what's your name? Alec. I said, Alex. Okay. Nice to meet you. Shake his hand. It's soaking wet. He's like, I'm sorry. My palms are wet. I just washed my hands. I just came from the bathroom. I'm like, it's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
He goes, I got to tell you something. You and Perrault saved my life. I go, What? He goes, COVID messed everything up so much for me. And I found the Daily Juice, and I've been listening to the Daily Juice since. I found your guys' show, and I listen every day. He said, I'm telling you, and he's getting choked up to the point of almost crying.
Whoa.
And I'm like, hey, man, like, just relax. He's like, no, he goes, I feel like I know you. I've listened and learned so much. I was living in Georgia, and I was married, and I'm now since divorced. It was a bad move.
Sorry.
I was driving back to Vegas. I'm in Mississippi with all my stuff, and I got a call to come work at the book. They said, can you be here tomorrow for the interview? And I was like, I'm in Mississippi and I'm dragging my stuff, but I'll try. He ends up getting a job in a book here in town. He knows a lot of the same people we know.
Wow.
And we exchanged phone numbers at the end of the conversation. And he said, I mean it when I say you and Matt literally kept me breathing. I appreciate BVB's honesty and how genuine and real you guys are. Working at unsaid name book, but I can tell you off the air.
Okay.
I see a whole bunch of bullshit and pretending. You guys have created an amazing community / family, and that's just a reflection of the men you and Matt are. Feel free to share whatever you'd like of my story.
Oof.
When you talk to Matt, let him know how much y'all really did for me.
Oof.
I messaged him on Instagram from blank his account a couple times. He might remember me again. If you all need anything, with anything, reach out. I'll definitely help.
Whoa.
And I said to him, Alex, I came down here to meet my friends from grade school and talk to them. But the reason that we met right now, there's no sense in us meeting right now. I turned left only because of that pizza place was open. He happened to be coming out of the bathroom. He goes, Dave, I never go to this bathroom when I'm here. I always go to the other one. But I came here because the person was cleaning that bathroom and had a sign on it.
Mm.
And I said, we would have never crossed paths in our lives until right now. It was, I walked to my car going, I don't know what you're doing, but thank you. Because I was so excited to meet him. He was in such a dark place.
Oof.
Like a dark place, Perrault, like to the point where he's a young kid and COVID had him so distraught and he was going through the worst part of his marriage and it was a disaster to the point where he thought about driving his car off a ramp, driving his car into telephone poles.
Mm.
And I was like, he shared that with me. I was so humbled. He said, you guys have to keep doing that show.
Well, we got to meet him. We can get him a hat, man. I appreciate that's. And it's funny because he says he learned of BVB through the juice. My favorite thing is an email that came to us over the weekend who says from Mark, says, Matt and Dave, I learned about your show through Dave on a different show and I've made the journey over to BVB. Your show is life-changing. I cannot go a day without watching, and it's the best show in the business. Stay the course. Keep up the good work. Lawyer Mark in Chicago.
Wow.
Do you know
awesome.
who that is? Do you know who that is? I thought you might know who that is.
Not by that moniker, but there's a chance I might. I don't know.
So,
That's
and then
great.
our guy D Stout
Yep.
wrote us something that I think he wants you to hear and everybody can hear it as I read it. It says, Matt and Dave, I cannot thank you both enough. We just finished harvest here in Southwest Minnesota, and those late nights I would rewatch the show for entertainment to keep me awake throughout the night. I've never in my years of farming found something that I keep me awake during those late nights of hours of farming to keep me from falling asleep at the wheel of the tractor combine. We have now completed our quest. All the equipment is back home and is in the process of getting a fresh wash, wax, and inspection before 2024 for the spring planting begins. You two have not only taught me the responsibility of sports betting, but keeping a positive attitude about life. My father, who is almost 64 now, a man who has never taken a day off in his life, his entire life, tends to have a shitty attitude once in a while. I have to remind him that our lives could be way worse. I follow up with today about a shitty day, but yes, tomorrow the sun will rise to the east and set to the west. Tomorrow's a new day. Let's make the best of it. Never straight, but always forward. My goal is to meet the two of you guys in real life if time allows it. And boy, do I wish for that dream to come true if time does allow it. Best regards, the Harvest crew at Stout Farms. In regard to our guy D Stout.
People keep asking why we're doing the fucking show. I wish we were doing it for money.
One day.
It's fine. It's fine. Whatever's going to come is going to come. But making these connections to people, it's life-changing for us.
It is. There's no debate. The show saved me, as you guys know.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
if I didn't have it, if I wasn't doing this show during the divorce, I don't know what the hell would have happened. It would have been, I don't know what would have gone on. Honestly, I've told you that before. Like you guys tell the stories of like how the show saved. Yes, I am in the same boat with where I am, where I was, what I was contemplating, what I was struggling with. So don't feel like you guys are in, these are isolated, unique stories, but they're not so isolated. They are a common thread that runs through the brigade, which is just it's real.
I wanted to call you at 2:00 in the morning last night to tell you about this kid. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait. And he texted me this morning, like just to thank me again for taking,
awesome.
I don't know, 8 minutes to listen to his story, and it was awesome. And he is one of many that we don't know about. Like there's other people. It's
awesome.
Brigade Proxy service has allowed us to touch people and meet people in person, shake their hand, wish them luck, get their picks every week. That's great. Hopefully that grows. We meet more people. The show, you guys are pushing it, finding people. We're doing as much as we can off of the air to keep growing it. It's just enjoy the game and show up tomorrow ish time. That's all.
Amen. Thank you for being here, Brigade. We love you guys. Hashtag BVB Brigade on social. We love to see that everywhere we go. We're back tomorrow. Like, subscribe, and all the good stuff. BVB back on a Tuesday, which is really like a Thursday for us because Roll Call Friday will be Roll Call Wednesday. Just FYI.